What's up, guys? I'm JJ.
I'm Javier.
And this is PM Football. It's been a couple weeks. We took a nice couple weeks off.
Yeah,
We
busy boys.
we've been busy, and we kind of needed a reset. We wanted to take a little break and kind of collect our thoughts. A lot of things have happened in the times of us not filming. The Bills have been eliminated from the playoffs.
My season's been over.
Your season's been over.
I've been chilling.
Indiana won a national championship.
Yeah, good for them. I predicted them to win it when the brackets first came out. I did have Indiana as my champion. Did not have Miami making it as far as they did, and I would like to address something, and it's been weighing heavy on my heart.
Okay.
We did rip Miami apart when the final brackets came out.
Because we did not give them a chance. We
said some very negative things about the Miami Hurricanes. I would like to apologize about that.
Yeah, I'll second that.
We were very wrong. I feel like a lot of people in general were very wrong about Miami. I think Miami is back. I think they have a very nice structure when it comes to coaching, how they attack the transfer portal and recruit and whatnot. Like, I do think the U is back. I think this is a very exciting time and a very exciting future for them. Yeah. So I want to apologize. I take back the negative things I said about Miami because that is a very talented team right there.
Yeah, I'll apologize for ripping them as much as I did. Did I think that they'd make it that far? No.
I thought they were going to lose to Texas A&M.
So did I. Yeah. And I will say, though, we slept on the defense more than anything.
Yes.
And that defense really proved to the nation and to everybody that they were the best defense in college football.
Yeah.
And had been.
Yeah,
but
Carson Beck didn't, play to where it destroyed the team. He made sure, he played complimentary football. So
yeah, and as football people, it's kind of weird for us, or at least for me, I'll speak for myself. I can't believe I didn't see that and say, at least give them a chance. Mm-hmm. Because, that when it comes down to it, if your defense is playing it, look at the Texans. Yeah. In the NFL, their offense was nowhere near good enough to be even a playoff team. I would say personally, that defense carried them as far as they could take them, and you saw in the playoffs that it was not good enough to be sustainable to win you games in the playoffs. They eked by a Steelers team that was not even should have even been in there.
Yeah.
Same goes for Miami though. That defense carried them as far as they could take them, and they ran into that juggernaut of Indiana. Mm-hmm. That Indiana team will be talked about forever.
They stood in there, dude. It was a close game.
Yeah.
They did not get blown out.
And Indiana will be talked about for a long time.
Yeah.
Because
there's going to be movies written about this team.
If you were to tell anybody before this season that the Indiana Hoosiers were going to win the national championship, yes, we're both big Signetti guys. We really like the job he does as a coach. There's just no chance that I would have said with a straight face they were going to win the national championship. Not only just based off of the talent, it's Indiana.
It's a basketball school.
It's looked at as a basketball school. That has quickly changed overnight with the job that Signetti's done, and kudos to him. Mendoza has pretty much cemented himself as the number one pick in the draft at this point.
It's the easiest number one pick since Trevor Lawrence, probably. It is pretty set in stone. It's all right, this is who it's going to be. The draft really starts at 2.
And with that being said, I think that has more to say about the draft class as a whole. Because me and you have said from the beginning that we think Mendoza's good. We don't think he's great.
Yeah.
We think he can be a quarterback at the next level. But if you're talking about a number one pick, a guy that's supposed to come in there and change a franchise, I still personally don't think that he is the guy that will be a game-changing, franchise-changing pick at number one.
I think he has the mindset, work ethic, and humbleness to do it. When it comes to physical traits, and I've said this from the beginning, when it comes to physical traits,
he's not elite in any aspect.
It's been an impressive season by him, and everyone's been doubting him, so he could continue to prove all the doubters wrong. I just don't see the physical athleticism and physical traits of a franchise-changing quarterback, which is what the Raiders, who have the first overall pick, are going to need and look for. Whether Raiders fans, Raiders people in the front office like him or not, he's a Raider.
Yeah.
Because I've been thinking about this. This kind of goes to the politics of football. You as a GM, how are you going to explain this to the owner and to your fan base after the year Indiana Mendoza just had, that you're not going to take him first overall? And you're kind of stuck taking him.
And I think having a guy like Tom Brady in that front office, he's going to see – and he had a front row seat in that championship game.
Yeah.
So I think he's had his mind – or that made up his mind for him, seeing that in person, just willing his team. Because like you said, it wasn't just a cakewalk game that they've had these past couple weeks against Oregon, Alabama, like where they just blew out teams.
I mean, Oregon kind of was they blew Oregon.
That's what I'm saying, though. They blew out those teams, and this week they didn't have that.
Yeah.
So he really had to show, hey, I'm the guy. I'm going to will my team to a victory, and he did. On that 4th and 5 play where he ran over 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the Heisman moment. And I'm not saying he didn't have a couple throughout the season, because he did. That one throw against Penn State.
Yeah.
But that really cemented it for me that, okay, I'm fine with crowning him as the one. But I think it has more to say about the class as a whole.
I agree with you there.
Again, nothing against Mendoza. I like him as a player. I like him as a person. I think he's a great leader of men. I just don't know if he has those physical attributes that are going to make him a franchise-changing quarterback. Am I going to be rooting for him? Yes, because I think he is a weird dude, and it's hilarious.
And you can attest to this. We spoke about this. I'm not going to lie. At the beginning, I did not really like him.
Yeah.
He grows on you.
Yeah.
Like, I'll admit.
You can tell he's a media-trained guy, and that it's all like because when he did his press conference, like, after the game with the teammates,
everything's missed.
He was different. And he was different. He was a different person. Yeah. Like, it's just funny. And, like, you can tell he has the moxie and the build of being a guy that can speak for a franchise.
He has, like, that nerdy swagger. It's kind of weird, man.
He's going to have moments of, like, just quirkiness, and it's going to be – you're not going to have this again, I hope he does, to the degree that he does have some level of success that he's had in college.
I'm not rooting against him.
I'm just saying the success that you just had this season will never, ever be replicated. So I'm interested to see how he does in a situation where maybe there are some mishaps, and how different he is after a game that didn't go well for him. Yeah. Because this season, every game went well for him. There wasn't a mishap. Yeah. Like, everything fell into place. And he was the way he was after the game in the interviews. I wonder how he is after a loss. Yeah. He hasn't lost in an entire year.
It is going to be very different going from the Indiana Hoosiers, who are now like this is how a program needs to be ran kind of thing, to you're going to the Oakland Raiders.
They're the teach tape team.
I'm not trying to diss Raider Nation here or anything, but
you guys know what you are.
Let's be honest. Like, no one's really looking up to the Raiders.
No.
So, like, it's going to be interesting to see, like, you have so much going for you. You have everything that you need surrounding you in Indiana. Now you got to go to the Raiders, where nothing's really in place. Yeah. Other than you have Tom Brady as an owner. Cool, I guess. Yeah. I don't know how far that could really take you. Could take you pretty far. Could not. I don't know. Outside of that, you don't really have much. So
I will say, with the decisions he's made as a guy that has power in that organization, the first few decisions he's made have not been great.
No.
So bringing in a guy like Pete Carroll to just kind of set a culture with the new regime failed miserably. Bringing in and trading in for Geno Smith failed miserably. Drafting Ashton Genty at 6. Were we both huge Ashton Genty fans? Yes. Did we like it when it happened originally? Yes, because he was probably the best player at that pick, and I'm never against taking best player available. Was he probably at the time? Probably. It didn't work. It just never made sense from a franchise standpoint to draft a running back on a team that had every single hole imaginable besides left edge, where you have Max Crosby. Every other position on that team was replaceable, and tight end, Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Those 2 positions are the only ones filled. Every other position, very replaceable. And you decide to draft a running back.
Yep.
Again, nothing against Ashton Genty. I love Ashton Genty as a player.
That's not exactly how you build a model franchise.
But yeah, we're going too much on the Raiders. But Fernando Mendoza, you have my pick as the number 1 pick.
Yeah. This is pretty much set in stone now.
We'll see how you do. I'll be rooting for you. I really hope that they kind of bring in some people for you. They're going to have money. So maybe...
Honestly, if I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
Honestly, if I'm Mendoza, I don't do anything in the off season other than interviews. Like, I don't go to the combine. I don't even do my pro day. Like, I'll go and do interviews. Like, I don't know how many teams would even talk to him just because, like...
They know.
Yeah. But, like, I'll do interviews. Outside of that, I'm pretty much not doing anything other than interviews and training with my own personal trainer.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be very interesting to see how he kind of goes about things.
Outside of Mendoza in the quarterback class this year, it's really just Ty Simpson now because Dante Moore decided he's going to return to school.
Yeah.
Kind of a head scratcher for me. Did he need another year? Probably. And I think you probably would say the same thing.
So, all right. I'm just talking to me personally. Is it probably the wiser decision to declare for the draft? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's what I was going to get to.
Me personally, I'm talking me personally. If that was if that's how the game went for me, speaking of the Indiana game, my ego would not allow me to let that be my final college game. Could I end up regretting that? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just could not allow that to be my final college game. Like, I cannot let that be the last image Oregon fans and the nation has of me in an Oregon uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably would have gone back to school if I were him, only because I just could not allow that to be my final college game. Not even because it's the smart decision. Because honestly, the smart decision probably would have been to declare.
Yeah. I again, that's you in that.
Yeah.
It's an ego thing.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely,
it really
100%.
comes down to that. And I'm not even necessarily saying that's not the case for him. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
It could have been. I would hope not, because if that's the reason why, it'd make it worse.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
agree.
like, all right,
I completely agree. I completely agree. And like I said when I was explaining it, like, is it the wrong decision to do that?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. My ego would just not allow me to do that.
But what I was saying beforehand, is it the smart decision to come back because he needs it to grow as a player? Yes, that's my personal opinion. Sure. I think he probably did need another year. Was it the smart thing to do, though? Probably not.
No.
Because you're pretty much guaranteed. And again, we talked about this already. I'm not in love with this quarterback class. I'm not in love with this class in general, to be honest.
Yeah.
Neither are you.
Yeah.
You were pretty much guaranteed
he was going to be the
second quarterback.
However, I was just about to say maybe he's playing a little 4D chess. Kind of avoided playing for the Jets. For now.
I don't think anybody's ever going to be avoiding playing for the Jets because they will always be up there.
But at least, obviously he went back playing it on.
Especially because they didn't fire Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, good point. But obviously he went back because he has the mindset of, all right, I'm going to accomplish everything. I assume this is his final year.
You would hope so.
I would hope that, like...
He still does have another year after
He does.
That's
what I'm saying. I'm hoping he goes in like, okay, this is my final year, and I want to win the Heisman. I want to win the Natty. I want to win everything. I'm assuming if you do all that, you win the Heisman, you win the Natty, you win all that, you'll be the first overall pick. You just got to hope that the Jets don't have the first overall pick.
That's not even what I was going to say. You just better hope you are the first overall pick.
Yeah, and again, it's a double-edged sword with that.
Not only are injuries a concern about coming back to school, next year's quarterback class could be pretty good.
I will like to counter that with, we thought the same thing with this class.
I agree.
So you never know. I'm not saying it's not going to be. Obviously,
I would still like to point out the guy that everybody was talking about was going to be the number one pick. I said sucked.
Like a 7th round,
and he did. He'll be lucky to be drafted.
At best,
Cade Klubnik,
7th round.
if you've
pick.
been watching for as long as you have, you
have a lifelong hater.
I do.
Right here.
And and where have I been wrong?
No, you're right. He significantly regressed this year.
But why did I even say that? okay, yeah, the point of talking about players next year, and we don't know until it happens.
Yeah.
Arch Manning is a name that's going to be coming out next year.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Lenore Sellers.
Dante
Moore.
DJ Lagway potentially if he can go somewhere
Maybe.
and be a different guy.
Yeah.
He did go somewhere. I think Baylor.
Yes, he did go Baylor. Sorsby's a name to look
Sorsby.
out.
There, what I'm mentioning is there's a lot of names that could be in that next year's class. And not only do I think it was the wrong decision to not come out this year because of the people that are potentially in the next year's class, but before you decided you're coming back, the number one player in the entire transfer portal commits to Oregon as Dylan Raiola. Like, now you have Dylan Raiola breathing down your neck, and if you make just the smallest slip up, they're going to be calling for Raiola to be in the game.
I don't know if I would go that far necessarily.
I just think it's the politics of how college football is now, and especially at a place like Oregon where they were all, for about a week before he said he's coming back. Yeah. They're like, okay, we're gonna have Raiola next year. This is gonna be cool. And then they get the, hey, you know what? Actually, I'm coming back.
But I did see reports before Raiola committed to Oregon, before Dante decided he was staying or not. I did see several reports saying Raiola is leaning towards going to Oregon, willing to sit behind Dante Moore if he decides to come back to school. Yeah. Now, whether he knew he was coming back or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I did see several reports saying Dylan Raiola is leaning towards going to Oregon and is willing to sit behind Dante Moore if he chooses to come back.
Now, that is all fine and dandy. Mm-hmm. Like, that is great. Great news that if that's the case. The only problem is we have seen Raiola play already.
Yeah.
And we know he has talent.
He does.
And so if Dante Moore, and I'm not even saying Dante Moore is going to come out and have a sluggish start or have bad games where people are going to be calling for his name, but if for the some off reason and chance he does come out flat to start the year, we know what Dylan Raiola is, and we know what he could be. And I think just him being in that room, it's going to be another thing in the back of Dante Moore's mind of, I have to play perfect or I could be replaced.
I'm not saying that's not the case. I just think he's thinking I have to play perfect for other reasons that's not even Raiola.
I agree. I just think that's an added piece to it.
Because he knows the hype is there now. Like, he knows, like, he has to win the
especially when he had the opportunity to come out this year.
So I don't even think in his mind it's sitting, I gotta play good because Raiola's right behind me. I think it's, I have to play good because I could have been the second overall pick.
And he's built
I chose not to because I want to be the first overall pick.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the case. College football, that wrapped up the season, really.
Yeah, it was a fun season. Very exciting season.
The next step is going to be the draft. We're still in the process of watching some players, and we will have draft content coming out soon.
Quick question. Is there a guy right now that a lot of people are hyping up that you just don't see it? Because I don't think we've talked about this yet. We haven't really talked too deep into the draft. And it's fine if you don't have
Do you have a name in mind? Because if you do, I could take a second because I wasn't really thinking about the draft at all. So I
don't know why I asked the question. Don't even have an answer. But let me look at my list because I know there's a few that I'm like.
I will speak on the draft for a second if you want to look at your list.
Yes. I have one.
Okay, go ahead. Because it'll give me a little bit of time to think about who my answer could be.
I'm not saying he won't be good. I'm not too big on Kenyon Sadiq. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a big Kenyon Sadiq
Let me say something real quick.
Sure.
That is a guy that I would agree with you.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's bad.
Yes. I see the talent.
He's not a first-round pick.
I think at the highest he's a late first-round pick. I don't think he's first. I went
late first round.
Late.
You said high.
My bad. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm right there with you. Earliest, late first round.
I fully agree with that. That's a great name to pull. I from the beginning, when people were even first mentioning his name, if there's a tight end prospect getting first round hype, I'm usually a fan of. I like the
you're a big tight end
I like the tight end first rounders. They're usually can't miss. If you're a tight end and you're getting first round talk, you are a stud. Yeah. I don't see it with him.
I have one on defense.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised you agree with Kenny Sadiq. I don't know if you agree with this guy or not because I may have heard you speak about him once or twice. I'm not a CJ Allen guy.
I'm with you.
Really? Bro, what? That's crazy.
I think he's a run stopper.
Yeah.
He's a base.
Yes.
He's a base defensive linebacker.
I do not trust him in the pass game.
No.
I really don't. And I'm not even a fan of his athleticism. Like, I don't like his speed. I don't think he's that elusive.
You know what? I'm really worried we're going to draft him.
Really?
Yeah.
We as in the Bills.
The Bills, I'm sorry. There could be people that
obviously just in case. Just
and if you can't read, then there you go. We're going to lose Milano. I would be shocked if we bring him back. He's on a team option of like $12 million. Mm-hmm. Don't think he's like 31. We're not going to bring him back for that much. If we rework a deal for him for a smaller amount of money, sure. I think we're going to lean towards linebacker as a potential first, second round pick this year. And I think CJ Allen's a name that I've seen a lot in mocks of us going after. Mm-hmm. Do I think he's a good football player? Yes, he's good. He's athletic. He is quick. He's great against the run. I'd give him that. Mm-hmm. Just in the pass coverage, and you have to be able. I
think in today's NFL,
and he's a smaller guy.
You have to be good in pass coverage. You don't even have to be elite necessarily, but you have to hold your own against tight ends and running backs. I don't think.
Now, Sonny Styles. I like Sonny Styles.
I like him. I do like him. I think he could improve in pass coverage, though.
I agree. Yes, but he's also brand new to the linebacker
I would say,
position.
But I do like him, though. I would not be mad if Washington traded down and was able to select him.
He moved from safety because he just kept growing into linebacker, and they just threw some weight on him.
And I also think part of it was he needed help with coverage.
Yeah. Probably, but I would still say he is either average or could be above average in pass coverage.
Yeah,
especially at the size that he is.
Here's my difference between him and CJ Allen. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of potential to grow for Sonny Styles. I don't necessarily see those traits in CJ Allen.
Yeah,
so I can see a scenario where Sonny Styles is able to kind of grow into a better pass coverage guy.
Yeah, I think CJ Allen is just very limited into what he could be.
That's a very good
I think he is a smaller linebacker. He's like 6'1". Mm-hmm. He's a smaller linebacker that in today's NFL you're going to be going against 6'5", 6'6" tight ends.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Unless you have a 40-inch vertical, which I don't think he has.
And he's quick, not fast, though.
No.
You need to be
fast. He's good at short line speed, or short spaces.
You have to be fast. You have to be quick and fast if you're going to be in man coverage against today's NFL running backs.
Again, I think he is a base linebacker. Yeah. Like, if you're a team that can just play in base, which I don't know who does anymore, to be honest. No one plays base defense majority of the game. No one. So I just don't see a role for him as of right now even being a first round pick.
I would say as of now I don't have a first round pick on him.
No,
those are two guys.
Those are two good names because I agree with you.
I'm honestly surprised that you agree.
I did not like. Again, I saw a lot of mocks with CJ Allen going to the Bills, so I had to do a little research on him. I think this linebacker class is okay. I don't think it's great.
I don't think any. And again, I'm still
it's early.
Earlier stages.
It's early. The Senior Bowl hasn't happened yet. There's going to be names that pop off at the Senior Bowl that just shoot up boards, and everyone's going to fall in love with.
There's always guys that move up and down throughout. We have 4 months.
Yeah,
until the draft.
It's just starting.
Everyone's going to be moving around except for the top 5 guys.
But it usually feels like at this point in the part of the season where we are at right now, going into the championship round of the playoffs. We have a pretty good idea of some top names of these are gonna be for sure first rounders, top 10 picks.
Yeah,
it doesn't really feel like that. Because even a guy like Ruben Bain, who we just were talking about and very highly of, short arms. And I don't know how much of a pass rusher he will be able to be at the next level. Probably really good against the run. I just don't think he'll be an elite level pass rusher. And from the looks of it right now, he's probably going to end up being a top 5, top 7 pick. And a guy that's that high of a pick, you're kind of having a lot of expectations to come in and be a pass rusher and a run stopper. And I don't know if he is both.
I think I can say that about pretty much every position in this class, other than I'm a huge Jeremiah Love guy. I think he legitimately could be elite.
Yes, it's a running back, though.
Yeah, but outside of that, even with the guys I like in this class, I don't know how many of them I'm looking at and being like, you could be elite in the league.
I think right now my number one player in the entire draft is Arvell Reese.
Yes, same.
Just because of the versatility of a player he could become. But at the same time, like, I think he's been getting a lot of comparisons to Micah Parsons, of a guy that kind of played stand-up linebacker and has transitioned into a hand-in-the-dirt, edge rush type guy, but is still a chess piece you can move around the field. That's the hope of what he could become.
Yeah.
He's not that right now. He's still a really, really good football player. He is not Micah Parsons.
I think the reason why he's my one, I can't speak for you or anyone else, the reason he's my one is because of the athletic traits he just has on the field. Like, a lot of that stuff you cannot teach what he brings. So that's why he's my one.
Yeah, and I mean, even when you're talking about a guy like Micah Parsons, you aren't asking him to be a guy that's going to be able to help in the run game. You want him to sack the quarterback. That's his job.
Which he does very well.
Arvell Reese is the same way, though. Like, there are times in the Ohio State games where he gets washed during run plays. Because he's a smaller edge rusher, and that's what they transitioned him into, because at the NFL level, the edge rusher is a premium position, and that is what will get you paid and drafted high. Not a tweener linebacker. They want you playing edge rusher. The NFL wants you playing edge rusher.
Yeah.
And they did, and he did very well. But there are still some miscues to his game, and especially in being able to stop the run. Is he really good at being able to shoot gaps? Yeah. When he's off the ball. When he's hand in the dirt and an edge rusher, that tackle usually grabs pads and he's gone. He's getting carried up the field. But yeah, I can't really think of a name, to be honest with you. I really liked those two examples that you brought up.
We could keep it at those two then.
Denzel Boston.
I still haven't done too much film on him yet.
So, all right, I'm going to kind of out myself right here. When it comes to the receiver position, I take a lot of say into what Steve Smith Sr. has to say.
He's a good source.
Dude does not miss.
Yeah, he's a good source.
He knows what, and the fact that a team has not hired him yet is insane.
I don't even think he would want.
I don't. I think I've seen him say, "I'm available."
Really?
I am shocked. He is. Maybe that is true. That because he does not have a very high miss rate.
No, he knows what he's talking about with the receiver position.
But he was a big Denzel Boston guy. He likes him a lot. And I don't know if I'm missing something, or if maybe he just finally got one wrong and I'm right and he's wrong. Probably not true. But I just don't see Denzel Boston as a first-round pick. I think maybe it's because I'm a little bit scarred of what Keon Coleman was, and he's the same type of body type. I think he is a little bit more athletic and can create better separation.
From what I have seen so far, I would say so.
And has an ability to actually create separation on a route. But, I mean, I'm just, I'm not that fan of that style of a receiver. And I would rather go after Mekhi Lemon or even Concepcion. Like, I like him a lot, too.
I'll tell you what, if Mekhi Lemon was just 2 or 3 inches taller,
he'd be a top 5 pick.
Clear wide receiver one, it would even be a discussion.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot, and I know this is going to be a cop-out answer because of the school. He's very similar to how Amon-Ra plays. He's physical, great route runner, great contact balance, great contested catch ability. He's just 5'11".
Yeah.
similar route. I think he's a little more stocky than Amon-Ra, I think.
Yeah, I would say so.
But I think similarities, great route running, hands are amazing.
Yeah.
Speed isn't top level, which is exactly with Amon-Ra. Like,
he's just such a great contested
he knows how to
catcher.
get open, too.
Such a great contested catcher.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. If he's there available, the Bills pick, Mekhi Lemon's the pick.
You run to the board. You run to the board.
But yeah, other than Denzel Boston, he's really just been a name that I haven't been as big of a fan of as that I've seen on some mocks that I think. Other than that, though, there really aren't any other players. Mainly because, in my opinion, I think everybody's pretty fairly rated right now. There aren't really any guys that I've seen be like, oh, this dude's going in the second. I feel like this dude should be going in the first. No, that dude's a second rounder, I think. Mainly because the class just isn't great. And again, hopefully it changes, and there's always going to be people fall in love with, and it happens every year.
I think it's not even necessarily like things necessarily change. I think we just adjust how we judge them and evaluate them.
Because you and I know better than anybody else. We probably do as many mock drafts as anybody does in the world.
Yeah. It's actually quite sad.
Yeah, it is. It's
actually quite sad.
But the point that I'm trying to make is you just become so familiarized with the names that you know pretty much everything about these people at this point. Yeah. And we're not at that point yet.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. We need to give it a minute, get familiarized ourselves with the players that are going to be in this class. Go from there. I still don't think it's that great, though.
You ever watch the draft around, like, family and stuff, and, like, a trade happens or, like, whatever,
like, oh, it's gonna be
they're
this
like,
guy.
and you're like, oh, it's going to be this person. Your family's like, how do you even know? It's like, how do you not know? It's like,
No, the worst.
I feel like a loser.
The worst is when, like, some random stat come up, like, nothing to do with sports is on.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, like when we were in Texas, Aaron Williams, do you remember him? He was safety for the Bills. Well, this isn't even a good example because it's going to prove that he went to Texas. But the point I'm trying to make is like a player will just pop up out of nowhere and I'll be like, oh, he went to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they'll just look at me like, why do you know that?
It's like, how do you not know?
I don't know why I even know that. Like, it's just, I just know it. Yeah. But, like, it's just funny sometimes that, like, you know how when they do the pregame intros and it's like, Jaden Daniels, LSU.
Yeah.
And, like, all that. I say the school before they say the school.
Like, out loud? Mm-hmm. You need help.
I know.
You need some serious help.
Well, mainly because I tried to, like, I've said it to my girlfriend that, like, I can name all of them.
Yeah. Oh, so you make like a game of it?
So it's like, okay. I guarantee.
That's different.
Because then sometimes I'll be like, oh, no, I don't know.
I thought you meant you'd be watching on the couch by yourself and you're just like, is this cool? Is this cool?
I mean, before the girlfriend, I was doing that. But
I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, here. Okay. Draft. It's happening.
Yeah, I'm excited. Finally, not finally, as if I didn't live with it my entire life. Back to having a top 10 pick.
I was gonna say, I don't know how happy I would be if
not happy. It will be nice that I don't have to wait till midnight to see who my team's selecting.
To just trade back regardless. Like that's what we do every year. Yeah. We have a top. We were in the back half of the like 25 range, and then we get to the pick, and it's like, all right, we've been waiting for 4 hours. Yeah. Actually, we're trading. Yeah,
I wanted us to trade out really badly last year. Chose Connolly. I'm happy with Connolly. I am. I think he has such high potential. Every week he was getting better.
All right, this is a great transition. Sure. Speaking of the Commanders, a lot of things have changed from the last time we've been here.
Yes.
Joey Jr. got the caboose.
We pretty much knew that was
and that had already happened pretty much midseason.
Yeah, we knew that was happening.
He was on borrowed time just hanging around.
He was just good friends with Dan Quinn. That's the only reason why he stuck around for the end of the year.
And then I think a little bit more surprisingly, maybe not to you, it was a little surprising for me at least, Cliff Kingsbury
So we heard the rumors like the week prior. It was like Cliff may be gone and whatnot. And my entire stance of it was, if he stays cool, like I don't not like Cliff. Like he's cool. He's all right. If they get rid of him, I'm cool with that too. I understand. So when they got rid of him, honestly, it wasn't even necessarily a like oh my God, why did that happen? Or yes, finally it was more of like a, all right, just.
Well, let's see what happens now.
Yeah, just make the right hire.
Yeah.
We landed on David Blau.
Yeah. So before we get into Blau,
Sure.
I kind of agree with the sentiment of getting rid of him.
Okay.
Only because of, like, it was just such a weird situation from the beginning to me. Because he was always the guy that was going to go be a coordinator for a team because he knew he was still getting paid by the Cardinals. Like, that's really what it came down to.
My whole
he
thing
didn't care. Could he have probably gone to be a head coach somewhere else? Probably. He got interviews every year.
Yeah.
But he wanted to turn it down to go be an offense coordinator.
My whole thing with Cliff, at least with my experience of him coaching my favorite team, he'd call some games where, like, that's a masterpiece. Like, great play calling today. And then the very next game, be like, I do not know why you thought that was a good idea.
Do you know English?
It will be like that all game long. And I think what rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way was how he called plays for Jaden versus Marcus Mariota and Josh Johnson. With Jaden, he refused to put Jaden under center. For what reason? I don't know. He absolutely refused to run a more traditional NFL offense with Jaden, which I could see there's pros and cons to that. But when you only put him in shotgun and you just have a predictable offense, it gets to a point where it's like, yes, Jaden's talented, but like he's a young quarterback. He's still learning. Like, help him out. Show some different offenses. Like, just throw him a bone or something. And when Marcus Mariota and Josh Johnson were playing, it was a much more diverse offense, a lot more under center, more pro style. And it's not like Jaden is dumb. One of his superpowers is his brain. Throughout the entire throughout his entire draft process, and even last year, it was how fast he recognizes the defense and just how smart. Huh?
Just gonna score a touchdown.
What are you talking about?
You remember that?
In the preseason
with the Giants. No, with the Giants.
The combine. Interview. Yeah, the interview.
Throw a touchdown. No, you know what? You're starting to make me think the opposite. Maybe he's really dumb.
No, like the.
Oh well, maybe he is.
No, the entire draft process was just.
I'm just going to
this
throw a
guy's
touchdown.
Smart, like.
No, but he didn't explain the defense or what offensive play he would run. He just said, "I'm going to score a touchdown."
How well did that work out for him? He's undefeated against the Giants. So.
What is the Giants? Who is it?
What? Where did that get him? Got him to offensive rookie of the year, the most offensive rookie of the weeks of all time, a historic offensive season, and an NFC Championship appearance. Like, I'd say he's doing pretty well. Could we stay healthier? Yeah, we could. But guess what? The entire team was unhealthy, so can't even say that's on Jaden when the entire team.
And who's it on?
Injury, but I've explained this. I explained this our last episode. Sucks. It was bad luck. We got the injury bug. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Sit around and complain about it? No, let's go get better. Let's get better talent. Let's get more depth. Like, what's gonna sit around and complain about an injury bug gonna do? Just go be better. Let's pray we can stay healthy this year. Yeah, that's basically it. We were talking about Cliff. Yeah,
Blau.
like
Blau. Or if you want to continue with Cliff,
it was pretty much just. It was a more diverse offense with Mariota and Josh Johnson, and it made no sense when Jaden is as smart as he is. So I know that rubbed me and a lot of fans.
Why do you think that is, though? Do you think
I think he just knows.
Do you think it was because of the comfortability that Jaden had?
I think that might have something to do with it. I think it's also because of how much of a threat Jaden is with his legs.
And putting him under center is taking away that threat.
I think it's not as much of a threat as when he's in shotgun.
Yeah, I mean, because it's an option.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that has part to do with it for sure.
So he just never was under center.
We were the least under center team in the entire league. I think we were at like 10% or something. Yes,
the Falcons were. I think. Bottom.
I promise you can look it up right now.
Then the Falcons were, because the Falcons ran pistol
the Falcons may have been up there, but there was no team in the league that was under center less.
Because Michael Penix literally, I think, went under center like 3% of his snaps this year.
Yeah,
which is insanity. And then Kirk Cousins happened.
So. Regardless, so I wasn't necessarily upset with Cliff getting fired, I could see pros to it. Now, we went and hired David Blau or promoted him.
Thoughts?
I don't.
Because I have mine.
Yeah. I don't hate it or love it. I think it's one of those things where it's like, all right, go improve yourself. I think it's a sign that Dan Quinn knows this could be his last year and he's taking a swing. I don't know. I honestly, I know it's boring, but honestly, that's my opinion. Like, I don't really have an opinion on it. Like, I could see it going good. I could see it going very bad. It just, regardless, you just have to surround Jaden with talent. And I think that will take us the furthest rather than hitting a home run on OC. Don't get me wrong.
Alleviate pressure for Blau too as well.
Yeah,
if you have players.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying just go hire anyone to be your OC.
Yeah.
But personally,
it makes it a lot easier when there's.
I think when you have elite personnel,
yeah,
it could take you further than having an elite OC
100%.
And no personnel.
100%.
So that's my opinion.
My only issue is that what coaching tree is he coming from?
That is a concern as well. Absolutely, because.
But what is it? Like, what's the coaching tree?
The thing, I wouldn't even necessarily call it a coaching tree because he's taken a little bit from everyone he's played with. He's taken a little bit from Ben Johnson. He's taken a little bit from Cliff Kingsbury. There's another coach I'm forgetting that he's taken a little bit from. It's not KOC, is it? I'm blanking on it. I'm sorry, but it's definitely Ben Johnson and Cliff Kingsbury. So he might have to just take what he likes from both, make into his own offense. And that's really what coaching is. Coaching is such a copycat job. Yeah. You just take what you like from something you've seen before and you run with it. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be taking a little bit of Ben Johnson, going to be taking a little bit of Cliff, take a little bit from, I'm blanking on whatever coach he was with before that, and just see what you make with it. Is it a risk? Absolutely it is. I hope Dan Quinn understands that it's a risk.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see if it pays off.
I see the upside it could bring, of course, because like you said, if it doesn't show success this year, more than likely Quinn is gone.
Yeah, I think he understands.
So you're taking a home run swing right here.
You're definitely swinging for the fences with this one, yeah.
And the only problem with taking a home run swing is a lot of times you miss.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just think in a spot where you pretty much need to hit a home run, you're not bringing a guy up that bats 200.
I don't even necessarily think you have to hit a home run. I think you just have to get on plate. Which I don't know if he necessarily does that or not.
But here's the thing, and this is what it really comes down to.
Sure.
Who on that defense are you comfortable with saying is gonna be a good player or even be on the team next year?
On defense?
Yeah.
What's the defense have to do with it?
I'll show you.
Trey Amos.
Okay. One guy. You got any other names?
Mikey Seamer's still such a wishy-washy answer.
But, okay, so this just goes to my point. There's like one or two guys. One, maybe two
guys.
Sure,
we'll say one or two guys, sure.
The offense, you have names already.
Some.
So, like, the offense is the piece that is going to be the saving grace for this team. Mm-hmm. And how successful it is, because you're not building an entire new defense in time for next year. You might be able to add pieces to it to build upon, but you're not bringing in an entire new defense and just overnight becoming one of the worst defenses in the league into a top 10 defense.
But which is why I think you don't even necessarily have to hit a home run. I think you have to hit a home run on defensive coordinator because of exactly what you said. We don't have pieces. Like, you need a guy that could work with less for that. I'm not saying talent-wise, we are through the roof on offense. But there is talent on offense, which is why I don't think you necessarily need to hit a home run. You just need a guy that knows how to complement the offense with each other.
But that's what I was about to say is, so why are you taking a risk instead of just bringing in a guy that you know has had success and has proven success and putting him with the pieces that are already in place that have shown they have been successful?
Apparently, David Blau's a genius. Which I don't know.
I've heard that
maybe
too.
He is, maybe he's not, which is part of the reason why I really have no opinion on it. Because
no one knows.
I'm only taking from the sources. From the sources, this guy's the next thing up. He's a future head coach. He's one of the guys out of that giant list that is shown every year of all the former assistant coaches that were in Washington that's now an elite head coach. He's the next one, apparently. How true that is, I don't know. Obviously, it was true enough for Dan Quinn to be like, you know what? He could be the next one.
Yeah.
Whether he's right or wrong, we'll find out this time next year because he'll either be with the team or he won't be with the team. So, yeah, like, as boring as it is, I don't have an opinion on it as much because there's just so much unknown with it.
Yeah.
I could see it paying off. I could see it totally blowing up in our face.
I think just for me, I think it's not the right move.
And I understand that.
I think defensively it would have made more sense to do something like that because you're bringing in a new – you're going to have to bring in a new defense basically. Like you're going to –
Yes, absolutely.
Bobby Wagner is going to be gone. Hopefully. I pray he's done. Pretty much everywhere on that defense.
And I like Bobby, but yeah, hopefully it's time.
But pretty much everywhere on that defense is going to be new pieces.
Yeah.
Bring in a young dude to bring in some energy and some juice.
And we might.
But that's what I'm saying. I would have rather have done that on the defensive side of the ball.
But who says we can't do it both?
That's really risking it then.
It's all a risk. The moment you fired
I know, but that was my whole point.
It was all a risk.
If you know your offense is the saving grace, and because you have Jaden, you have Terry, you have a decent enough offensive line, Bill showed flashes, you're going to need a tight end, you're probably going to need another receiver. But it's still better than your defense and could be the part.
Everything's better than our
defense.
But
if that's the part that you're going to be counting on next year to be a competitive football team and save your head coach's job, I'm bringing in a guy that has done it already.
Yeah.
And then on the defensive side, get funky. And because if it gets worse, guess who your head coach is? It's Dan Quinn, and he can get in there and start calling defensive plays if it doesn't work out. On the offensive side of the ball, if David Blau starts not doing good, then what? What are you going to do? Dan Quinn is not going to be able to come in there and save things. He could do that on the defensive side of the ball.
Don't get me wrong.
And he did it this year.
Don't get me wrong. Dan Quinn calling plays was much better than Joe Wood Jr. Don't get me wrong.
However, got him hired to be a head coach again.
Still was not to the standard, and I think
it was also just the team being really
offensively bad. It wasn't to the standard as well. Now again, injuries, huge part on both sides. I think regardless, without the defensive injuries, we probably still would have been pretty bad defensively, but definitely offensively, like injuries and Terry missing out on training camp, huge blow to not just the offense but the entire team.
Yeah.
And I see the argument of getting a more established OC, like, absolutely, that makes sense to me.
Mainly because of the pieces there.
Sure, but I'm just going to the defensive side here. I would much rather have a well-established D coordinator because of the lack of talent we have on defense. I want a guy that knows how to do more with less.
So hold on. We agree. I agree. I think,
but I don't think again a sporadic, funky guy.
No. So that's what I was going to say. I would have preferred to have a veteran defensive coordinator, but if you were going to, for the sake of the argument,
you had to choose one
instead of getting the offensive guy, I would have done it on the defensive side. I would take the vet on both sides. If it were me as Dan Quinn, I'm getting two guys that have already been coordinators, and have done it before. Not taking a chance on a guy that has never even been a coordinator,
a position coach. Yeah. No, it's a massive risk. Obviously, I hope it pays off. I think it could pay off. Am I confident in that? No, and it's not because I'm doubting David Blau. It's because we don't know anything about David Blau.
No one knows anything.
Yeah, all I know is what is being reported. And what's being reported is he's the supposed football genius. Yep. So, I mean, we won't know the answer until we are deep in this, and it's like this is either going very well or very bad.
Yeah, and we'll probably know quick.
I don't know. Like I just don't want Commanders fans or football fans expecting like a Ben Johnson, like we were scoring 35 points a game. Like, let's simmer down. He's still young. Jaden is still young. We're going to get weapons that haven't had chemistry with Jaden and the other offensive pieces. Like, we're not going to show up week one scoring 40 points. It's going to be like that every week. Like, stick with the program. Give David Blau an honest chance. Give him an honest chance. It will take it from there, whether good or bad. We will take it from there once we know what we are dealing with.
And then before we move on to our last segment, sticking with the Commanders for a second,
Sure.
Who is your top pick to be defensive coordinator? Because they haven't filled that yet.
I'm going to be honest. I don't necessarily have one. I have a few that I'm like, I'd be good with that. One is, and I don't know his exact title. He's either like I think he's the defensive pass game coordinator for the Seahawks, and I'm forgetting his last name. But we've interviewed him. I'm very interested just because on how elite Seattle's defense has looked, and that Mike McDonald, their head coach, is like the McVay of defense. Mm-hmm. So if we could get that over here, would love it. He's never been a coordinator before, but I'm willing to experiment with that. I'm trying to think who else we interviewed. Obviously, there's like Raheem Morris. I wouldn't say that's a home run, but it's definitely an improvement.
How about Gannon?
Yeah, I'd be fine with Gannon. Like I think he's kind of similar to Raheem, where it's like don't expect like a Texans defense, but you'll at worst be middle of the pack with that offense. What it should be, I'm fine with.
The Cardinals didn't really have any big name players on that defense, and they were still pretty feisty. And what kept them in games last year?
Again, back to what I said earlier, yes, you should select a good coordinator, offense and defense. My biggest thing and biggest issue is with personnel. I want to get the personnel right first and foremost. So whoever we hire as defensive coordinator, hopefully it's the right hire, but most importantly, get the right personnel in there with the right contracts. Let's not start chucking money at nobodies.
Yeah. I'm interested to see who they do bring in. Yeah. It seems like it's going to be a veteran.
I'm expecting some sort of announcement sometime this week. It's already Wednesday, so who knows? I'm expecting to hear at least they are leaning towards this person sometime this week, but if not, I don't know. Oh, I totally lied. I do have a number one person. Al Harris.
Yeah.
Chicago's DB coach. He was supposed to be our defensive coordinator. Jerry Jones said, nope, he's not going with you. And comes Joe Witt Jr. Jerry gives us one final middle finger, so that's nice. I'm honestly,
who is currently interviewing with the Packers.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm honestly
position.
surprised that I have not seen anything saying Al Harris has interviewed with us yet, because he was my first choice when Dan Quinn first got hired here. He got offered the job. Jerry Jones said no. You would think as soon as Joe Witt's out the door, send a little text like, hey, dude, by the way, there's a spot here for you. We want you running this entire defense. That really is my first choice. I love Al Harris. I loved him even when he was with Dallas. He is a great defensive mastermind. So that is my first choice. If not, I'm good with the dude from Seattle. I'm good with Jonathan Gannon. I don't know what Jim Schwartz's deal is, if he's going to go back to Cleveland or not.
I don't think he leaves Cleveland, even if it's in a different role.
That's fine. If for whatever reason he's available, I would absolutely give him a call.
Jim Schwartz.
Yeah.
I had him for a defense coordinator for a couple of years. Changed that defense.
Yeah. I absolutely would give Jim Schwartz a call if he's even available. But yeah,
transitioning from your team to mine.
Yep. It has been a very, very rough week for you. I will let you begin wherever you want to begin. Do you want to talk about just your overall thoughts of the game, or do you want to just go straight into what everyone's talking about today? Your owner
we'll start with the game.
Okay, sure.
Just because that happened first. We'll go chronologically.
Sure. We talked after the game.
Mm-hmm.
You accepted the result pretty fast.
Yeah.
It seemed like you were pretty much like, well, it happened again.
Yep.
I just want to ask you, who do you blame for the game?
Blame? Like, who am I putting blame on for that game
specifically? Let me rephrase it, because that's not fair. Why did you guys lose that game?
Turnovers were a huge problem. And I know you're going to get to the part where you're going to start.
I'm honestly just wondering.
I know. But I'm just saying, I know there's going to be a Josh that you're going to say that he's not clutch, and I'm going to sit here and take it because you're not wrong, and I'm not saying he isn't, because I do think he is. He's just I'm going to move past that for a second. The turnovers were a big issue. Mm-hmm. Defense, we haven't had a sack in a winning playoff game or in a losing playoff game in 8 years.
Really?
We haven't had a sack.
Wow. I did not know that. That's pretty crazy.
That's how bad our pass rush has been.
Yeah.
A singular sack in a playoff loss.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty crazy.
And it continued.
Yeah.
On a guy with a broken foot, and I understand he broke it late in the game, but like,
yeah.
It's Bo Nix. You can get the Bo Nix. He's athletic.
He's athletic, but he's not the fastest.
You can get the Bo Nix.
He's no Jaden.
Defense, and they did step up in times in that game.
Yeah.
We
kept y'all in it.
We put them in tough positions, but at the end of the day, we weren't good enough defensively, and we haven't been good enough defensively to make it to that next step of that next tier of making it to a Super Bowl for once. We also battled 2 tough injuries that happened during that game, and it just happened to be. And I don't know why, and which I partly blame McDermott for. Why, even if you're not the one calling the defense, why are you not telling the defensive coordinator, hey, we got an injury, we're going to be putting in a backup right here? Maybe call something safe.
Yeah.
The 2 plays we call with the 2 new guys in is a blitz man coverage.
Yeah.
Darnell Savage gets beat on a corner route.
Welcome to
little
the
Jordan
experience.
Humphrey, wide open touchdown. And then with the game on the line, 50-something seconds left in the game, you're up 27-23. Tre'Davious White goes down.
Yep.
Guess who's coming in? Dane Jackson. All the Bills fans remember Mr. Dane Jackson, number 30, but he confused you because he was wearing number 23. We thought he was MJ. He was not. It was still Dane Jackson. Yeah. Gets cooked one-on-one by Marvin Mims in the end zone, which I think he dropped that, to be fair. He bobbled that pass. Yeah, no. Those were 2 big mishaps with those 2 injuries. And again, I'm not complaining about the injuries. They happen.
Everyone's injured.
But it just was terrible that the 2 plays immediately following those injuries, they score touchdowns on. In 2 big parts of the game. A lot of the blame goes on to people in place, bringing in players in depth. Because you know what could have been the backup corner for us? Darius Slay.
Yeah.
That didn't work out.
Nope.
That falls on Bean. He didn't do his research.
Yeah.
But, I mean, those players are in place, and I don't want to jump too far ahead because it just all is tying together. The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm finally realizing, like, maybe McDermott does deserve a little bit more.
Sure, like, he's not.
I think we were all just caught up in the moment of, like, those 2 plays specifically. It's like, all right, well, why are those players even playing where we could have had different players in position to be making the plays? Like, those aren't good enough players to be able to be in the game right there.
Yeah.
Why aren't there better players? That falls on Bean. Mm-hmm. But if you are a Bills fan or keep up with the Bills in any fashion, we have a very strong history of bringing back players that have already played for us. We do it time and time again. Dane Jackson's a prime example. We did it with A.J. Klein. We've done it with Shaq Lawson, Jordan Phillips. We bring those well, actually. We bring those guys. Shaq Lawson didn't touch the field.
What game am I thinking?
Shaq Thompson.
Yes,
we signed him at the beginning of the year. That was different. This is the first time he's been there.
That's on me.
But we signed Shaq Lawson. We signed Jordan Phillips every single year when the playoffs are about to start. We signed him to the practice squad in case of injury. Those guys should never be on the field. Dane Jackson included. But what I'm trying to say is everyone's putting the blame on Bean, and I'm putting a lot of the blame on Bean too. But you don't think that there's a little bit in him that's like, what if we try to bring in some other people?
Absolutely.
And he tried to do it with Darius Slay. We were taking a home run swing on Darius Slay. Like, he wasn't going to come in and be a starting corner for us, but he was going to be a guy that if an injury did happen, could jump in and play corner for us at a good level. Better than Dane Jackson, at least. It didn't work out. But he tried. I think Sean McDermott is very comfortable with the guys that have been in place and wants those types of players to come in when there are injuries because he's familiarized himself with those players, even if they're not good. Mm-hmm. That's just time and time again what has happened with that franchise. And again, I'm not trying to take any blame off of Bean because if you are a GM, at the end of the day, you decide who you're bringing in.
Yeah, that's your job.
But I think to appease Sean McDermott to a degree, he's bringing in guys that he know will fit his culture. Now I'll talk about the catch. I'm one of the very few Bills fans that doesn't think it was a catch. I'll straight out say it. And I know if you're a Bills fan, you probably hate me. But I don't think he caught it. He never had full possession. The ball was moving, and the ball never hit the ground, and the Broncos player ended up with the ball. Now, I know there have been plenty of different examples that people have been bringing up of plays exactly like that happening, and they're being called a catch. The Chiefs game against the Bills last year, for example, Xavier Worthy sticks his arm up. Cole Bishop is literally like this over top of him, grabbing the ball, falls with the ball like this, and Worthy just has his hand through the ball like that, and they call it a catch by Worthy instead of an interception.
Yeah.
So, like, there's been – we just don't have luck. And, I mean, the sooner you can just come to that fact that we just are not lucky and will never get a bounce our way, the quicker you will come to terms with things. But I don't think – I think that is one of the very few things that have happened to us that was not wrong. I think it was an incomplete pass. Secondly, that play was not why we lost that game. Was it a reason as to why we could have won the game? Sure.
Yeah.
It wasn't why we lost, though. We still that interception happened on the 15-yard line. They still had to go 40 yards to get into field goal range to win that game. We still gave up 40 yards on defense. And I'm not trying to see like I'm putting all the blame on the defense. But we also had a bunch of turnovers during that game. Josh made some really boneheaded plays and missed some throws that could have put us in a position to win the game. That happens, though. We were still in a position to win the game. At the end of the day, we didn't. Now, moving to current, do you have anything else to add about that game?
I will like to compliment you because this is the very few times, not just you, but it seems like just Buffalo fans in general are actually taking accountability and like putting blame where blame needs to go. So I will give you credit there. Because usually, not just people with Buffalo fans, it's everything else except Josh Allen. It could never possibly be Josh Allen's fault. So I give kudos to you for at least being like, you know what? He did not play good. Yes, you guys still had a chance to win, but at the end of the day, he did not do enough to win that game.
Yeah. No, but that's what and again, it's going to sound like I am defending him now. Like, yes, he played bad.
Yes.
And we were still there. Like, that just shows you how good he is.
Yeah.
Like,
he is still in the league quarterback.
But like,
I will
can
never
you at
take
least
that
say,
from
like,
sure.
This is why it's just so hard to hate on the guy, even when he does play bad. Because when he does play bad, we're usually a play away. And it's been like that for the past 7 years. So when it comes down to it every single time, and I will say this year in specific is the first time that I'm really putting a lot of blame on him.
Yes, like I'm not expecting you guys to hate on him.
No.
We as in the general public, general NFL fans.
But can you at least agree with me from the last couple seasons where this stuff has happened? It wasn't really on him.
I've said that the entire time that it hasn't been on him. But I've also said, look, like
last year.
At some point, you are the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of it has to fall on you.
But I don't agree with you about the clutch thing.
He's not clutch.
I don't agree with you.
He's not clutch.
None of the reasons as to why before this year, I'll give you this year. Before this year, none of the games have been on him.
Sure, but
so how is he not? Because he's put the team in a position every single time. The game against the Chiefs.
Because he's an elite quarterback. That doesn't make him clutch, though.
But none of them have been his fault.
look,
I could understand if it happened like this year a couple times. Sure, you can say he's not clutch. There wasn't a time where he's thrown a pick to lose them the game.
So what makes him clutch in your eyes?
He always puts them in positions to win the game.
But have you guys won enough games in the important games to win?
No, we have never made it to a Super Bowl.
Not even just that. If you look at his record and stats, and again, I don't want to seem like stats are the end all be all, but I'm simply just saying, if you look at his record and stats in the wild card, and then every round outside of the wild card,
I saw that.
That's not the same player.
Yeah,
that is not the same.
But the
player.
only real difference between the stats, and I saw that same exact thing that you were looking at, and you can tell me if I'm wrong.
Sure,
it's the record. That's it.
It's the record.
That's really
the quarterback rating. It was the touchdown
like
to interception ratio.
Less, and he had one more.
It was the yards. It was just all of. Like,
no, I saw the same thing.
Point, you're the quarterback. It falls on you.
It was 2 less points in the quarterback rating, and he had 1 more pick. It wasn't like he had 5 more picks.
No, it's not. Look, again, he's still an elite quarterback.
Like that's what I'm saying.
And I don't want. And if there are people out there saying Josh Allen is not an elite quarterback, I don't know what they're looking at. I'm be honest. Like, he still is.
I saw that same exact graphic you saw, and it was funny to me because literally, other than 1 more pick and maybe at worst 5 points less on the quarterback rating, the only difference was the record.
Doesn't he lead the league in turnovers from 2020?
Probably
with like a lot. Like he doesn't. You can't count on. You can't count on him to be the one that takes you over the finish line. So you can't.
This is gonna tie into this year more so.
Let me ask you one last question, or one more question at least. Can you count on him to take you over that line?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he has shown me time and time again that he can and will make the play.
Then why hasn't he done it in the important games?
Because there's been
because he's not clutch. Because he's not clutch. At some point,
I don't think you realize.
I think you have your Josh Allen glasses on.
I really don't. I just sat here for 5 minutes putting a lot of this game on.
We have to look at you are going to your age 30 season. You've been in the league for almost a decade, and you've been to 2 AFC championships, lost both of them. You are below 500 in games outside of the wild card. Mm-hmm. You lead the league in turnovers since 2020. Mm-hmm. At some point, I have to look at you and say, even though you are an elite quarterback, I don't know if I could fully depend on you to take us to where we need to go. And I'm not trying to make it sound like you need a new quarterback or anything. No, you'd be crazy to get rid of Josh Allen. You keep him for as long as you possibly can. However, I can't sit here and with full confidence say one day, or he has shown me that one day we will get over that hump, because he has not shown that at all in his almost 10-year career now.
Again, outside of this year, he has to me. Last year, Dalton Kincaid dropped a wide open, or I wouldn't say wide open, a very catchable pass on 4th down to put us in field goal position. The year before that, he made that throw. We got him into field goal position. We missed the field goal. Mm-hmm. The year before that, the 13-second disaster thing happened. Like, if we get the ball going into overtime, we're going to win the game.
That's the other thing.
We changed the rule.
He win in overtime? He's 0-3 in overtime. Mm-hmm. Like, but that goes back to my clutch gene that he doesn't have, in my opinion. Like, at some point,
that goes back to what happened this past year.
But at some point,
like
it's
the catch thing.
But
he put the perfect throw. It was the perfect throw.
Sure, I'm sorry. When your quarterback has 4 turnovers, you don't deserve to win the game.
But he had the.
You don't.
But that's my only that's my point. Is even when he does, we're in a position to win the game. That shouldn't even be a situation.
I would say, but back to my point. Thank you. Back to my point. You could have avoided that entire situation. Yeah. He's the one that put you in the situation to have to make that throw.
But who else is even going to put you in a situation to be in a game?
Even when
you are who?
An illegal Pat Mahomes could put you in
4 turnovers. When's he ever done that?
I'm sure he's had 4 turnovers before.
And they won the game?
No, because you don't deserve to win a game with 4 turnovers.
But that's what they probably weren't even in a position to win the game.
Yeah.
Josh is, though, even if he does play bad.
But No, like you don't deserve to.
I'm not
win
saying
the
they should have
game.
deserved to
You're
win.
not going to win the game,
I'm not saying
and you didn't win the game.
I'm not saying they deserve. Did they deserve to win the game against the Ravens at the beginning of the year?
Probably
No,
not.
they
No.
didn't at all. But they did.
Because of a lucky fumble.
Okay, it's luck. You get luck
Yeah.
sometimes. We
Yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah.
Who cares about a week 1 regular season game? I don't care if we would have won or lost that game. Like, can we get the luck when it really matters? Like,
But forget about luck. Like, don't turn the ball over. Make your throws. We can't say he did any of those on Saturday.
we talked about this a little bit before the show. Who or how many of those turnovers are you putting on him? I know you said 3.
3, yeah.
He had 4. I'm putting 2 of them on him. I'm not putting the pick at the end of the game on him, and I think that's the one that you're not putting on him.
It was just very unlucky.
And then the fumble right after halftime.
You gotta
the
have
strip
ball
sack.
security. You gotta sense the guy is coming. Like, is it hard? Yes, but you're a professional. We're making you one of the highest paid players in the entire league. Set your protection there. Sense the guy's coming. Read the defense better. Like, is it hard?
Though.
Yes.
He did set the protection, and it was just Nick Bonito blowing Deion Dawkins off of the edge. That's all that happened. That was it. That's what happened. I can't blame the guy for getting hit on his blind side when he's about to throw the pass. He's literally in the throwing motion like this and gets pounded on his shoulder and the ball goes flying. Like, if you want to put that on him, go ahead. I'm not. How though?
I just told you how.
How is he going to set the
hard thing to do?
How is he going to say set the protection?
You are a professional. We are paying you all this money. At some point, you have to sense those things. You have to.
He's just supposed to get the force. Like, he's just supposed to gain the force.
No, when you play quarterback for a long time, like, you sense pressure.
Angel, the ball was snapped for about a second and a half.
Definitely not true.
Yes,
he definitely had to.
No, he didn't.
A corner blitz doesn't take a second and a half.
It was an edge rusher. He beat Deion Dawkins solely off the edge. Josh was literally like this, about to throw the pass. His arm gets hit and the ball falls out.
Who forced the fumble?
Bonito.
It was Bonito? One of the best pass rushers in the entire league. That makes it even worse.
Why?
You're telling me it wasn't even a corner blitz, which makes it harder to even look. Nick Bonito, who you should have your eyes on because he's your best edge rusher, you allowed him to rush the edge and hit you clean?
No, it wasn't clean. Deion Dawkins literally is like this in a pass block.
It was pretty. If it was like hold up. If it was the second and a half, it was pretty clean. It's clean. It's good. You don't get to a quarterback.
How is it his fault that Deion let him walk past him?
I'm not blaming it all on Josh Allen. Yes, obviously, your linemen should probably do better. But to just be like, you get zero fault when you're the one that had that turned over the ball with the fumble.
Did he fumble the ball? Yes.
It's on him.
Okay.
It's on him.
It's sure.
He's responsible for 3 turnovers. Fourth one, again, unlucky. Like, did you throw the interception? Yes. It's unlucky. Like, there's no other way I could put it. It was just unlucky. But the other one's absolutely.
I can't even remember what the other. I kind of just crossed.
Oh, I can.
The fumble before
halftime.
That one's bad. That one was horrible. I can't think of the other. It
was one of the most.
I know he threw a pick.
Things.
I know. I'm not going to even speak on that one because I don't know.
I will.
It was one of the there's nothing to even speak about it. Like
I will. It was
happened?
One of the most boneheaded things he could have ever possibly done. That allowed Denver to get an additional 3 points on the board.
No, I know.
How much did you lose by? You lost by 3.
Yep.
And then you want to throw a meatball sub at the DB. Like, what's that all about?
I don't remember.
The interception.
When that was right after we got an interception. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was when Deion Walker got
when
the pick.
You could totally flip the momentum. Yeah, you want to throw a meatball sub right to the DB.
He didn't see the safety. Yep.
And I'm supposed to believe you are clutch.
Yeah.
I refuse. You've won one away playoff game in your almost 10-year career. You have not won an overtime game in your career, at least playoff-wise. They even changed the rule for you. You are below 500 in games outside the wild card. You lead the league in turnover since 2020. And you want me to call you clutch while you sit there with 0 rings. I refuse.
I think I'd rather be called elite than clutch.
Sure. That's fine. Elite. He is. I will not deny that. He's still elite. I will not deny that.
Again, all right, so going
I'll
past.
say, yes,
we need to speed this up a little bit,
please,
but
we're already past the time.
Past the game. The game happens. It ends. Move to Monday. We fire Sean McDermott.
Yes.
Kind of stunning news. Was it the right move? I had been saying for a couple of years now it was probably time to move on.
Yeah.
Did it end the way that I thought it would end? No. I really thought it would be more of a clean break in that he would have deserved to leave a little bit more. At that time when we fired him, everybody had turned against Bean, and it was more so on the players that were brought into the roster more so than the coaching. And that everybody thought Bean should have been the one fired and not McDermott.
Which I think would have been way more understandable.
But no, we fire McDermott, and Bean gets a promotion to president of football. And he's going to stay on as the general manager. Fast forward to today. It's Wednesday now. They have their first press conference, which is insane that they waited 2 days to say anything. And not only before the press conference, your first post after firing the guy is saying he did an admiral job and spelled it wrong and had to delete the post of saying, "Thank you, Sean."
Yeah.
They misspelled a word 5 words into the post.
I want to bring this up. I do feel bad how he went to bat for the entire city in his post-game press conference.
I think he knew.
Fired. You think he knew?
I think he knew.
That sucks.
I think that's why he did it.
That sucks.
I think that's why he did that. I think he was probably giving one last
I love you guys.
Hail Mary chance to Pegula to tell him, like, I really want to be here. Because, I mean, it was obvious. He really did want to be there.
Yeah.
And he loved the city and everything. But, like, I think that was his last-ditch effort of saying, I want to be here. And they just didn't do it. All right, so then cut to today. It's Wednesday. Press conference. Then Mr. McDermott, or not Mr. McDermott, Mr. Pegula gets on the stage. And he just pretty much clowned the entire franchise.
It was bad.
Like,
it was bad.
I don't know what to think anymore. Because it was already...
Your organization's on fire.
It was a questionable move to move on from McDermott, but to even have the balls to get up there in front of everybody and just, like, literally make yourself look as worse as possible as an owner.
Yeah.
So unprepared... Like,
not even just just like the franchise as a whole. It's just such a bad look right now.
And going to what I was about to say is, I don't even think Bean really did anything bad during this press conference today.
I wouldn't.
He made himself look better than what people were doing, and all of the hate has just gone to Pegula. And at the end of the day, Pegula's the one that's going to make all of the decisions.
Yeah.
He's paying everybody's check.
Yep.
And if we have that guy in charge, I don't know if I have hope, because he has shown that he might not be able to make the right decision and clearly doesn't know how to do media and be able to speak to media. Because how are you going to call out a guy that has not only been a problem with your franchise because he's been late to meetings and hasn't been a great player in Keon Coleman when he's still on your team?
Yeah.
It would have been different if they cut ties with him after the season. It's like, hey, like, he wasn't even really our pick. Like,
that would have been way different.
It's throwing some on Deshaun again, like, whatever, that he's gone. Like, they're going to do that now. He's gone. Like, he's the scapegoat. They're not going to blame themselves anymore.
And then, honestly, to me, that's just such a weak move to put. And I'm not saying they necessarily did this. It's just how they came. It's just how it came across of, we aren't successful because our GM couldn't choose who he really wanted. We chose this bum instead. And by the way, this bum is still on our team. Mm-hmm. Like, to just do that, I thought was just such a weak move.
And not only do I feel for Keon, but like as players on the Bills, if you think they're okay with saying it publicly about Keon, how many people do you think on the team that's been for? Yeah. Where they've had to make a decision that they didn't really want to make. It was the coaching. That's what they're saying, at least, that it was coaching making a lot of decisions in the draft process, which, if that's the case, we'll come to find out. Do I totally believe that? No. Do I totally disbelieve it? No, because you don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I really am just disappointed in how that press conference was handled, more so with Pegula. Bean, I think, and going back to the Keon thing, the question was directed toward Bean.
Yeah.
And he was
That's
answering.
what makes it even more
He was
odd.
answering the question. And like a couple sentences in, Pegula goes, "Let me step in right there. Actually, this dude did not want him at all.
Yeah.
He thought he was the worst player in the entire draft. He's just being modest. I won't be because I'm a big mouth and I don't know what's going on. I just own this team. I built us a new stadium and you guys paid for all of it.
Yeah.
I didn't pay for anything. But you guys built this, but I did. I built this. You didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You
Just
got
making
lucky
it worse.
hiring Sean McDermott and just happened to be a great coach.
He was.
And now he's gone. And you got Brandon Bean outside of Josh Allen. Brandon Bean has not drafted anybody. He really hasn't.
I agree with
James
you.
Cook. James Cook's the only
I'll give
other
him
guy.
that. Yeah, I'll give him
He
that.
didn't even draft Dion. There's no one.
Yeah.
Matt Milano, if you want to throw Matt Milano in there.
Even like the
Sure.
free agency sign-ins.
Free
it's
agency's
like,
been terrible.
Yeah.
Our biggest move.
So you go blame the head coach on the free agency sign-ins
But
now?
that's their case is that McDermott had a lot of
And
say
if
in
that's
that
the
personnel.
case, didn't Bean hire McDermott?
Nope.
He didn't.
McDermott hired Bean.
Oh. The math is mathing now.
Yeah.
The math is mathing.
McDermott
Okay.
was hired before Bean.
The math is... That's so
They hired the
backwards.
head coach
Why?
first.
That's so backwards.
Well, you know where they both came? They both came from Carolina.
Yeah, I knew that. I thought it was GM first, though.
Nope.
That's so
They
backwards.
hired McDermott did the 2017 draft, right? Yeah, Tre'Davious White's year. Because Bean came in after that draft. McDermott did that draft by himself.
So who was the GM?
Some random dude that was just there still. Like it was McDermott.
JJ Watt. Oh my God, this team's a mess.
Yeah,
This team is a
it is.
mess.
So maybe it is true.
This team's a mess.
McDermott did have a lot of power. And the one thing that really is sticking with me from this press conference today is that Pegula mentioned about power tripping. About like, I'm not going to let people power trip me because if they do, they're gone. And everybody kind of had the assumption that that's what Brandon Bean was kind of doing and getting Sean McDermott out the door. And that he kind of went on a power trip and was trying to save his job by saying like, well, look at, like we have always been able to get to the playoffs. We have the players in place and we just can't get it done.
Yeah.
McDermott used the same exact thing. Said, look what I'm doing with these players. Like,
Yeah.
it's the same.
Which I believe him.
It's the same argument both ways.
Yeah.
They're both right. They're both wrong. Like, so going back to the power trip thing, everybody thinks it was Bean, but apparently the way Pegula is portraying it is that Sean kind of went on a power trip to try to save his job. And I don't know if that's whether he's talking about his press conference following the game about kind of just going off on the refs and saying this, I got to stand up for Buffalo and all that stuff. But the more,
Which I thought was weak.
the more and more it's put out there and the more I think about it and talk about it, the more I'm confused. Like it
It
does,
is a confusing time.
it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
either way. One thing is for sure, Sean McDermott will not be the head coach of the Bills next year.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, my top candidates,
I was just about to ask you that. Yeah.
Clint Kubiak,
Good hire.
Seahawks offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Number 2, and I know you're not going to like this, is Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll is number 2, and then 3 is going to be Grant Ubinski. He's the Jaguars offensive coordinator. Super young guy. He's 30 years old. He was like co-OC with the Vikings before last year. Goes down to Jacksonville. Kind of gives a career revival with
Have your
Liam
head coach
Cohen.
be the same age as your quarterback.
Gonna be insane. Fourth, no. Sorry, Ubinski's fourth. Third would be Davis Webb. Same situation though. He's 30 as well. But regardless, either of those two guys, I'm putting in the same type of boat. I wouldn't mind either one of them. Moving the Dayball, familiarity with Josh really kind of made Josh into the quarterback that he is today. It's going to determine on whether or not he can bring in a guy defensively to help that defense, because that's been a problem for us the past couple seasons.
He needs a play caller.
That's what I mean. He needs to be able to bring in a guy that can help the defense. And
like offensively, he needs a play caller.
I think he's going to have a lot to say. I mean, I wouldn't hate Davis Webb. I don't know if he moves, because I think he has a legitimate chance of getting a head coaching job. I would hope it's Davis Webb, because he's only a quarterback's coach right now. If they could steal Shieldhouse from the Rams to come be the OC, because he's only a pass game coordinator right now. If they could steal him from the Rams,
promotion,
I don't know if he's going to want to leave though. Like,
as an OC, I could see it. It's a
and
job
does he
promotion.
have? But I really do think Davis Webb is the clear choice if it is Dayball, because Dayball's the reason Davis Webb has the job with the Broncos. Sean Payton's had multiple interviews saying, Davis Webb has his job because Brian Dayball. So he's going to go with Dayball. I'm kind of hoping it's flipped, though, that Davis Webb's the head coach and Dayball's the coordinator, because if Davis Webb does as good as he's been doing, he's going to be hired next year to be the head coach.
Dayball as an OC way more than I like him as a
I just don't know if he would do it. It's as a guy that's...
He might not have a choice. Who's going to hire him as a head coach?
They already said that he was going to go to Tennessee if he didn't get the Buffalo job.
As what? As
an OC?
That would be kind of cool, actually.
With Cam Ward. Yeah, no, those are my top choices.
Oh, bro. I'm thinking you're talking about Volunteers, Tennessee.
No.
Oh, the Titans?
Titans.
That would be cool as well.
Titans with Saleh.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, Diana Rossini said that. It says if he didn't get the Buffalo job, he'd want to go to Tennessee to be the OC.
That would be cool.
Which is kind of funny because he's not wanting to go to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Because the Eagles have just interviewed him, and they pretty much were like, yeah, we know he doesn't want to go.
Just a formality thing.
Yeah. He does not want to work here with Sirianni. Who does?
No.
But yeah.
For the right paycheck, maybe.
Do you have a name in mind that you think would be the right opportunity?
For y'all?
Yeah.
Anthony Lynn, so might be get 2 third-round picks. It's literally the only reason. I think Kubiak will be a really good hire. I'm be honest. I do think Kubiak will be a pretty solid hire.
I don't want Joe Brady. I'll say that.
Yeah, but we talked about this. I think they interviewed him just because of the formality. Like, you kind of have to.
And and the way that it sounds today, Pagula kind of burned bridges with the coaches on this old staff.
Yeah,
saying that the staff wanted these players, and Sean McDermott doesn't even have anything to do with the offense. So kind of making it sound like Joe Brady wanted Keon Coleman.
Yeah, no. Honestly, my number 1 pick for y'all would be Kubiak, probably. Yeah. I think that would be a great hire.
You don't want Dayball, though.
As a head coach, no. Again, as an OC, I think he would be a great OC. As a head coach, nah, I can't get along with that.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an
interesting month.
Start of the offseason, which to me, even though there's no football on, it's still such a fun time during football.
It is, because
this is the best time.
I would say that's when things start to get rolling. Yep. That's when rumors start flying, deals start happening.
Free right around the corner.
And then it's draft season. Literally, when's the Super Bowl? Not March, I'm sorry. February
8th.
8th?
7th or 8th.
Let's say it's the 8th. February 9th. Draft season.
Yes.
It's draft season.
Oh, it's already draft season.
Nah, give respect to the coaches.
No, once the teams are out, your team are out.
As a general
it is
league
draft season.
Yeah, it's been... Dude, forget this. It was draft season for me in October. Forget the final
I would say for about 28 other teams, maybe 20. I'll be generous. For about 20 teams, it's been draft season for about 3 months.
Yeah.
So...
It's been draft season for me since October, so... Yeah. No, let's wrap this up. We went way over than what we said we would.
I hope it was entertaining. I had a lot of fun.
It was
We
nice.
haven't had one in the past 2 weeks, so we had a lot to talk about, to be honest. We went a little long with college.
Yeah, the draft as well, but that's kind of our thing. So.
And speaking of the draft, hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be doing some more or putting out some draft content. We did a mock draft a little while ago, just top 10, but putting out some draft content. Let us know what type you guys want to watch. Like, you want to see mock drafts? Do you want to see like court or position rankings or whatever, let us know. We are down to do either.
For sure. Thank you guys for watching. We truly do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, share the video, follow us on TikTok and Twitter at Paint Football Podcast. Comment, let us know anything you agree with, what you disagree with, what you would like to see us film. We will catch y'all later.
See ya.